Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about spinning something. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, how would you spin that someone who tried to run a business and failed and now has a gap in their employment? HR or hiring managers think would probably think that it is a red flag. What's the best approach to this? Well, if you're gonna spin this, well, I'll just read back to you like word for word what I wrote back to the subscriber. I wrote back, I really enjoyed working for myself, but after a few years I felt that I spent more and more time on work and less time on family and personal development. So I finally decided that my heart wasn't in the business that I had created anymore, and now I'm really looking forward to working with new people and seeing if there are other opportunities out there for me. Tweak message as needed is the last thing I wrote. So what I'm trying to say here is basically that the way that you look at what you're saying to an employer, if let's say for the sake of argument that you ran a business, it didn't go so well, or you were at a company, it didn't go so well, you got fired, like whatever, you what you have to understand is that the way that you spin something, and whether or not something is spinning or not spinning, I'm gonna leave that up to the politicians, because even the company itself that you are going to apply for they do this. It's it is what it is, because the fundamental thing that they're doing, and the thing that I just did, is that I'm just choosing the reality I want to live in. That's what I'm doing. What I just said is 100% the reality of, like, I don't even have to know you to know that what the thing I just said is reality, because it doesn't really, like, one version of the truth is that you failed, one version of the truth is that you couldn't run your company any longer, but who says that two things can't be true at the same time? So and that's kind of that's the devil in all of this. This is how you can have politicians or dictators and so forth justify like genocide with a smile to the masses and have it sound like, oh well, we're just relocating people. We have these new programs that is absolutely not about murdering a bunch of people, and because depending on how you decide depending on how you frame things, depending on which side of the story you want to tell, you can always be correct. And so when you ask me how you spin something, or how you will put a positive spin on something that you perceive as being very negative, it is actually as simple as understanding that if you had the opportunity to decide yourself to tell the story in the best possible way from your perspective, regardless of if you feel that's true or not, regardless of what you think happened, it doesn't really matter, because it's not a lie. It's just you choosing the part to include and omitting the thing that you're thinking internally. And this is the people who do this all the time. These are the people who are like they are con artists, or and there are other types of people as well, but because there are people who are this way all the time. They will live like it's in a way it is a positive thing. It is a good thing to have this mental state, because you can never fail if you decide to always look at things from a perspective that benefits you and allows you to have your own worldview. This is a very big double-edged sword for people who wield it poorly. For the people who wield it very effectively, well, and I'm not going to go too far on this one, but the people who are good at this, they are fucking dangerous, because they can get the people who will believe anything to literally believe anything, because they always pick the narrative. So, what I want you to take away from this is basically that if you got fired or you failed your business and you need to find a way to explain this in a nice way to your future employer, just do this exercise with me. Because it is like I literally spent less than 2 minutes. Like I started typing immediately when I read this question. Whenever you have the opportunity to explain how something went down from your perspective, regardless of how you think it went down, tell the story from the perspective of that everything was as well working and as perfect as it could have been from the way that you saw it. Because you're not lying. You're simply omitting that you got fired, or you're omitting that your business failed. But it's still not a lie to say that I really enjoyed working for myself, but after a few years I simply felt that there were other things out there for me. Well, of course there's other things out there for you. It's probably pretty stressful to have a failing business. But you don't include that part. Just as the people who are selling fitness machines and supermodels who show you their diet tips don't tell you that they puke 3 times a day. Have a great day.